Hello friends, it's Terry with Terry's Mailbox, and today I'm presenting for cut cardstock using some of their gorgeous Curious Metallic Cardstock. It's great because it's got a little bit of a shimmer to it and it just works really well. So I created this Slimline floral card here, and again colored the flowers with alcohol ink. I'll show you that in a little bit. So there's my Slimline background there, and I'm going to use the Pink Fresh banner die to cut out the electric blue Curious Metallic cardstock, and then I'm using the Wild Flora Altenew stamp and die set that coordinates. So here we're starting with my Misty, and I've added a piece of Curious Metallic Virtual Pearl is the name of the color. It's a little bit of a creamy white and has that shimmer to it, and so then I selected the floral images that I wanted to use, and I'm going to ink them up with Gina K. Almagan ink. It's a good one to use with Copic markers. So again, I'm just kind of using my tool there to get a good image. And once I have that image done, I'm going to flip the cardstock around and then add one on the other side. And it doesn't matter that it's upside down because I am die cutting both of these out to use on the card. You might notice that A2 card up there at the top right. That was where I started, and I had considered using that with this floral image. But in the end, I changed my mind and decided to go back and create a Slimline card. I liked it better. So once I have the stamping done, I heat dried it with my heat tool to be sure it was completely dry before I started with the Copic markers. So I selected a few different colors of oranges and yellows and greens. And you can see here I'm just simply coloring in the floral images. So I like coloring. It's very relaxing, fun to use different colors. Like my Copic markers. I'm still practicing and improving my skills with them, but I do like them quite a bit. So again, we'll just kind of keep coloring here. I won't keep you too long with the coloring because I know many of you are expert Copic colorers and don't really need this section of it. I'm going to focus more on how I put the card together in the end. So again, I'm almost done here with my oranges and yellows, and then the next thing I'll have to do is move on to green. So you can see here, once I finished coloring, I pulled out the coordinating dies, and I'm going to go ahead and line it up and add some tape on it so it doesn't shift when I cut it. And I'm just going to use my die cutting machine to cut them out. And I've rearranged my room, so my die cut machine is just simply a chair turn away from my workspace, which is great. So now I'm pulling it out here and going to go ahead and remove the floral die cut. And then here's how I'm organizing the card. I'm adding foam tape, or fun foam, excuse me, to the back of that blue piece. And you can see that I had to piece the blue piece together to get it the full length of the Slimline card. And I'm using my double-sided tape to add the fun foam to the front of the card. I find that the double-sided tape works much better. I've tried many things over the years, from the tape runner to glue to other things, and I just found that using double-sided tape works really well because you don't get the glue lumpiness on the card as it dries. So again, you can kind of see where I pieced that blue piece together, but I'm going to put the flower and try to conceal that as much as I can. So I've got my two flower images, and I'm just kind of lining them up here to see exactly where I want them. And the stem from the top flower bloom extended below the top of the flower on the second bloom, so I wanted it to actually be hidden. So again, here I am playing with it still, and I decided, okay, I need to cut a little more stem off there. And so once I'm happy with that is when I'll go ahead and start to attach that flower. I love that yellow against that deep electric blue. It's just gorgeous. So here I am. I'm going to add my tape runner to add some strips of adhesive here, and then I'm going to grab my glue to add dots to the little tiny sections. And you might notice there that I have stamping on the back of the flower bloom, and again, paper has two sides, so when you're not happy with your stamping or your work on one side, you flip it over and start again. So here I am just adding adhesive to that second bloom, and then I'll figure out where we're going to put it. And it just kind of looks like one, one continuous line of flowers. I think it turned out really pretty. And then I'm going to trim the bottom stems off there. And then what I ended up doing is cutting circles. I cut the blue circle is actually Curious Metallic, and then it's ink blended with Prize Ribbon Distress Oxide ink. And then I heat embossed the Happy Birthday onto another smaller circle. And then here I am just adding a few extra circles to add some dimension. And I'm just going to add that to the very base of the card. I thought this turned out really, really very, very well. I was happy with this card. Although you can't really see the banner at the bottom, but I'm okay with that. So there is my card. So again, I hope you enjoyed your visit today. Again, it's Terry with Terry's Mailbox, and I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Blogger, and YouTube. I'd love to have you subscribe to any of my social media and channels.